Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do all about video that is all about the Charlotte Fire Department station number 42. So without any further ado, Charlotte Fire Station 42.
Battalion 2, engines 11, 27, 7, and 22. Investigator 1, ladder 27, and safety 1, house fire. CO1 Maple Street, Army, Echo, Battalion 2, engines.
The Charlotte Fire Department opened Station 42 on January 30th, 2012. The station is located at 5620 Central Ave and is across the street from the site of the old Eastland Mall. The station serves an area that includes Central Ave from Eastway out to Albemarle Road, as well as Sharon Amity Road and Albemarle out towards Harris Boulevard. The station is an infill station, which Charlotte started building after about 2000 to start improving coverages in some areas of the city. The area immediately around Station 42's area was originally served by stations 15, 23, 3, and 8. Since about 2000, this area had seen a marked increase in requests for service. Prior to about 2000, Charlotte's busiest companies had always been the uptown companies. However, after about 2000, that started to change. By the early 2000s, Station 15 had become Charlotte's busiest station. The Charlotte Fire Department's goal is to get a fire truck on the scene within 6 minutes. For much of the area in East Charlotte, this was becoming increasingly difficult. As stations and companies get busier, the response times in those areas also tends to increase. Remembering it's not simply the distance from the station to the call, but the distance from the first available company to the call. So busy stations are more frequently unavailable, and that requires companies from out of the area to respond. As a result of some of the research into this, the city started building infill stations after 2000, with Station 36 opening in 2002 and Station 39 opening in 2008. By 2010, the stations around the area of the future Station 42 were some of the busiest in Charlotte, with Engine Company 15 being the busiest engine, running more than 4,600 calls in 2010. Additionally, Station 23 was the busiest two-company station, with Engine and Ladder 23 both running about 3,500 calls a year, making Engine 23 the third busiest engine company in Charlotte and Ladder 23 the busiest ladder company in Charlotte. Engine 3 was the fourth busiest company in Charlotte, running almost 3,200 calls a year in 2010. The fourth station in the area was Charlotte's Fire Station 8. At the time, Station 8 was the only Charlotte station with two engine companies, and those two companies together ran about 3,200 calls for service, which, if it had been a single engine company, would probably have put it in the top 5 for busy stations. To deal with this increasing call volume on the east side, the department built Station 42 in 2011, and it opened for service in January of 2012. The station itself was one of Charlotte's first green or environmentally friendly stations, and included features such as solar panels to heat hot water. The station is a 3-bay station and also became the home for Charlotte's Battalion Chief 4, making it one of Charlotte's battalion stations. While the department was planning and building Station 42, The department had continued expanding outward and had also built several other stations and added companies to staff those stations. So to staff Station 42, the department decommissioned Engine 64, the second engine at Fire Station 8, and then relocated that to Station 42 and recommissioned the new engine as Engine 42. The longer-term plans for the station included adding another company there, and in fact, if you look at any of the original or older photos of the station, you'll notice the doors are marked with Battalion 4, Engine 42, and Rescue 42. At that time, Charlotte's second rescue company was Rescue Company 3 at nearby Station 3, and the department envisioned moving the rescue over to Station 42. Within 5 years, however, Engine 42 had become one of Charlotte's busiest companies, with area companies still remaining busy. In fact, Engine 15 was now the third busiest company, but still running about 4,000 calls a year. With rescue companies in Charlotte not sharing the call volumes with the engines in the stations where they are at, the department decided to add a second company. It considered adding a second ladder, but again, the station was adjacent to Station 23, which had a ladder. And so ultimately, the department decided to relocate a ladder to Station 3, move Rescue 3 to Station 11, and then add a second engine company at Station 42. Keeping with Charlotte's company numbering system, stations with two engine companies would have their second engine numbered in the 60s, and they don't reuse those numbers. As I mentioned earlier, Station 8 had a second engine company, and it was Engine 64. So the second company in Station 42, which went into service in June of 2018, was Engine 65. So as of 2024, Station 42 is still the only Charlotte fire station that runs with two engine companies. As I had mentioned earlier, when Engine 42 started service, they started using Engine 64's old 2000 American LaFrance Eagle general safety pumper. However, in 2012, they received a new Spartan Smeal, the standard 2000 GPM pump, 500-gallon water tank, and 30-gallon foam tank. That truck was in service until their latest rig, a 2021 Spartan Smeal pumper, went into service in March of 2022. The company logo is Raiders of the East Side, obviously a reference to the east side of Charlotte, and this is their company logo. When Engine 65 went into service, they put a brand new 2018 Spartan Smeal pumper into service. It was again the standard Charlotte pumper with a 2000 GPM pump, a 500-gallon water tank, and a 30-gallon foam tank. Their company logo is Los Bomberos de la Este. Excuse my poor Spanish. However, that is essentially Spanish for the firefighters of the East Side. And the slogan honors the large Latino population in Charlotte's East Side. And then also, again, as I had previously mentioned, Battalion 4 runs out of Station 42. Being Charlotte's only two-engine company station does present some challenges and does make for a unique rivalry between the companies. However, recently, the two companies did get together and created a station logo honoring the East Side. And that logo comes from the old Eastland Mall, which had been located across the street from the station's current location. That mall has since been razed, and the city is in the process of renovating and rebuilding that area. Because Charlotte essentially alternates calls, Engine 65 and 42 have had essentially the same annual run numbers since 65 went in service. In 2023, Engine 65 ran 2,600 plus calls, and Engine 42 was a little over 2,700. And just as a point of reference, the average for Charlotte engine companies is about 2,600 calls a year. So that wraps up this brief, or sort of brief, look at the Charlotte Fire Department's station number 42. Before ending, as always, want to give credit for some of the sources used in this video. Obviously, the City of Charlotte and the Charlotte Fire Department, Station 42's Facebook page, and of course, the source for all things Charlotte Fire Apparatus, charlottefdtrucks.com, Legeros Fire Blog, and the Charlotte Observer. So there you go. Real quick video about one of Charlotte's newer stations, an infill station, and its only station with 2 engine companies. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I didn't make any mistakes or errors. If I did, you are more than welcome to leave me a comment or send me a message. Otherwise, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, we'll just see you again in the next video. Thanks. Bye.